Leadership is all about people's decisions and behaviors. How and why do we make specific decisions and take specific actions in a given situation? International development requires leaders who have an integrative and a comprehensive approach to the interrelated nature of global issues. Early leadership theories concentrated on the leader, such as the trait and skills approaches. Later theories like transformational and authentic leadership broadened this to include the leader, the followers, and their relationship. The wise leadership theory introduces an even more overarching approach to leadership. Wise leadership is concerned with not only the leader, followers, and their relationship, but also the interrelationship of these with the macro environment. There are 3 levels of analysis: micro, meso, and macro. The micro environment refers to the leader as an individual. The meso level relates to the leader's family, direct teams, and the organization. The macro environment refers to the wider society at the national and international levels. At the micro and individual level, wise leadership has concerns for individuals' well-being, also known as human flourishing. At the meso level, wise leadership deals with team flourishing and organizational success. And at the macro level, wise leaders are concerned with long-term and stable development outcomes. Due to the range of complex challenges that people and nations face, and given the multidimensional and interconnected nature of global issues, leaders have to deal with a high level of uncertainty when they contribute to international development. Poor decisions can negatively impact people's lives at the individual, national, and international levels. Accordingly, leaders in global development must consistently make appropriate and effective decisions that bring together the concerns of a diverse range of stakeholders. Wise leadership suggests that leadership always engages in strategic decision-making. A leader can make a decision through a logically thought-through process or based on their gut feelings. When doing this, leaders are consciously or unconsciously selecting and evaluating alternatives, and they choose the best option. In this video, we will look at a model of wise leadership which explains how leaders can make wise decisions in uncertain and turbulent environments, such as international development. According to Intezari, there are 5 steps that leaders need to take in order to be able to make decisions that lead to wise consequences. Wise leaders need to consider different perspectives. There is always more than one stakeholder involved in development initiatives at the local, national, and global scale. For example, wise leaders consider a diverse range of perspectives when dealing with communities, the government, and business groups. They also take into account the consequences of possible alternatives. Wise leaders know how to articulate the expectations that are behind each perspective and incorporate those perspectives into their decisions. When working in international development, no perspective and stakeholder should be neglected or underestimated. Do not forget that in the international development context, future generations are also part of today's stakeholders. Addressing global warming, for example, is important not only because we need to make Earth a better place to live on for ourselves, but also for our children and following generations. Wise leaders also need to be both analytical and insightful. Respect your logic and your emotions. When it comes to making a strategic decision, wise leaders make informed, rational decisions. They rely on quality data and information about the issues at hand and their possible consequences. However, wise leaders also incorporate their emotions into their judgment. For wise leaders, there is always enough room for both logic and emotion in decision-making, especially when dealing with global issues. Accordingly, to be able to make wise decisions, leaders need to gather relevant data and useful information, reflect on their experiences, yet listen to their gut feeling along the way. Logic and emotion may appear to be opposites, but in fact, they are complementary. People assume that to be a successful leader, one needs to be necessarily experienced. Experience is valuable. However, an inexperienced person can still make wise decisions that contribute to development of their community and the international community. Please note that having experience and knowledge in and of themselves is not enough. You should be able to apply them. To solve a problem, a leader also needs to be aware of what they do not know and be willing to seek out and make use of knowledge and experience of others. Wise leaders must also remain mindful. To be able to contribute to international development, leaders need to have self-awareness in the first instance, including a knowledge of their weaknesses, strengths, and emotional characteristics. Successful leaders not only have a true awareness of themselves, but also of others and events around them. This dual awareness of self and others enables the wise leaders to make most out of their own advantages and the opportunities that emerge when working in development context. Finally, as a wise leader, you should constantly reflect on your decisions and actions. Almost everyone thinks about the decisions they have made in the past. In the international development context, leaders need to consciously reflect on their decisions and actions. Wise leaders always know that there are plenty of valuable lessons that can be learned from past development initiatives, successful or not, that can inform and improve future decisions and initiatives. In addition, leaders need also to reflect on the feelings, thoughts, and values of the broader society. Societal values and beliefs are dynamic and keep evolving along with global issues. Regularly reflecting on these changes helps wise leaders navigate their leadership position in relation to local and international development. These 5 principles are closely linked to each other. There is no clear-cut border between them. They are interwoven and complementary. What enhances a leader's ability to apply these 5 wisdom principles to international development initiatives? It is practicing them. It is a matter of effort and a willingness to learn.